Today we are discussing the scenario-based interview questions for network administrator engineers. These are scenario-based complex interview questions. You can download the complete list of scenario-based questions from the link provided in the description. Now moving towards the scenario based on the topic network security and access control. Our scenario is your organization is concerned about network security and wants to implement measures to control access to resources. Design and configure a comprehensive network security solution that includes VLAN segmentation, port security, and 802.1x authentication. Ensure that unauthorized devices are prevented from accessing the network, and user authentication is enforced. Being a CCNA network administrator, what will be your solution based on this topic? So our first solution is VLAN segmentation. Design VLANs to segment the network based on different departments or security requirements. Assign each port to the appropriate VLAN using the switch port access VLAN within bracket VLAN underscore ID command on switches. Our second solution is implement port security. Configure port security on switch ports to restrict the number of MAC addresses allowed and prevent unauthorized devices from connecting. Use the switch port security command to enable port security and set limits on the maximum number of MAC addresses. Our third solution is configure 802.1x authentication. Implement 802.1x authentication to enforce user-level access control. This requires a radius server for authentication. Configure the switch to act as an 802.1x authenticator using the .1x commands. Fourth solution, set up radius server. Deploy a radius server and configure it with the necessary user accounts and authentication policies. Configure the switch to use radius for 802.1x authentication by specifying the radius server details. Solution number 5. Enable port-based authentication. Enable port-based authentication on switch ports using the authentication port control auto command. This ensures that only authenticated devices are allowed to communicate on the network. Our sixth solution is implement guest VLANs. Set up a separate VLAN for guest devices. Configure the switch to assign unauthenticated devices to the guest VLAN. Use the .1x guest VLAN within bracket VLAN underscore ID command to specify the guest VLAN. Seventh solution, configure access control lists ACLs. Implement ACLs on the router or layer 3 switch to control traffic between VLANs. Define rules to permit or deny specific types of traffic between different segments of the network. Eighth solution, implement device profiling optional. Optionally implement device profiling to classify and control devices based on their characteristics. Use a network access control (NAC) solution to identify and enforce policies based on device type. Our ninth solution is monitor security logs. Enable logging for security events on switches and routers. Regularly review security logs to identify and respond to any suspicious activities. Our tenth and last solution is regular security audits. Conduct regular security audits to assess the effectiveness of access control measures. Update security policies based on audit findings and evolving security requirements. This scenario involves securing the network by implementing measures such as VLAN segmentation, port security, and 802.1x authentication to control access and enhance overall network security. If you are preparing for any CCNA based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the descriptions. Also, you can download the complete list of scenario based questions from the link provided in the description. For more videos, stay tuned with us.